Great day, great day, great day. It's Coach Kevin Gibbs with the Greatness Academy, the #1 basketball academy in Raleigh, North Carolina. We got over 300 players in college, resulting in almost a $250 million in scholarship funding. We also have the first two homeschool D1 athletes. I really want to mention that because that's making history. We got Zach Johnson and Dylan Mann. So we also want to appeal to the homeschool population too, to give them some education and to give them an opportunity and platform to showcase your talent and your ability, right? And actually, we're basically have it mastermind the whole non-traditional approach. So we have every different pathway to help you get straight to the pros, college, international. We did it all, we seen it all, and we can help all. So that's why I'm appealing so much stronger, so much harder to get us out there, right? So that we can help more players get to college. We can help more players reach their goals, reach their dreams, become more confident, become better basketball players, and more better, productive members in society. And that's our goal. And so this right here is a treat, right? Been having an opportunity to go out there and watch some games. And I know a lot of people want to get into college, different things is changing. So we're going to break down the game you got to have. You got to have the game, right? So this is for the D1. You want to be a D1 point guard. This is the North Carolina blueprint, right? So we'll go break it down for y'all real quick. #1, your job is to be a floor general, right? You have to be a floor general. That's your #1 job. A D1 point guard controls the game. They control the pace, the spacing, the timing, and the tempo. They control the game, the pace, the spacing, the timing, and the tempo. You're the architect of every possession. You call the offense with conviction and clarity. You're supposed to organize your teammates into their right spots. You're supposed to read the defense before the offense moves. So if you should know your team in a zone or not a zone, you should know if they're in a man-to-man. You should know where your shooters at. You should know where your big man's at. People ain't in the right place. You're supposed to like boom, 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 boom. Get in place. You have to communicate. You're supposed to set the tone for the game speed. Are we supposed to run these dudes or are we supposed to slow it down? Where's the mismatches? You have to have that IQ, right? You got to know everyone's role, not just your own, because you're supposed to be telling people what to do, right? So you got to know. You got to be studied. You got to be the #1 student of the game, right? And then you got to make your teammates better, whether you score or not. That's a great mark of a great point guard, of a great player in general, someone that could affect the game without scoring. Scoring is great, and you need to score for sure. But if you could help other people score and then score when you want to score, you kind of got the game mastered. You're still affecting the game. That's the thing of a point guard, right? It's a lot of combo guards and all that stuff, but you still have to have these skill set. These are all skill sets that you got to have because skills bring value. And if you want to get a scholarship, you want to make money, you have to bring value to the table, right? So you want to put everything on your side to put value, right? If the team looks confused, it's on you. If the team looks poised, it's because of you. You the quarterback. Decision making. Elite point guard's currency. That's your currency, is your mind. How to understand all those things we just discussed, right? So you want to attack the advantages. You want to understand 2-on-1s, 1-on-2s, 3-on-2s, 2-on-3s, 3-on-4s, 4-on-5s, even 4-on-4s and 5-on-5s, and how to get 2-on-1 and 1-on-2 and attack, different things like that, right? You want to recognize and exploit the defensive breakdowns instantly, right? Instantly get the work. Boom, boom, boom. So the way that you process your mental, the way that you process, not just having the ball in your hand all day long, is going to help the team get better, right? Then you want to avoid bad shots. You want to know when to pass up good ones, and for great, you want to make the team pay. They leave you open. You want to be like a Floyd Mayweather. You leave me open, bang. That's why Steph and them is so incredible, Kyrie. But we're not getting into all that right now. We're sticking straight to business, right? And so you want to limit the turnovers. Limit turnovers. You can't be a point guard and you turning it over. Your assist to turnover ratio should be 4-1. That means for every 4 assists, you should only get 1 turnover if you want to be a great point guard. If you want to be a good point guard, 3-1. An average point guard is 2-1. 1-1, you're not guard. You need to go work on your game way more. All right. And so limit turnovers, value possessions like gold, protect the basketball. Every time you got a possession, that's a scoring opportunity. Those are opportunities that you're passing up. The team is passing up. Then next play speed. You want to process and react faster than any other high school player. If you're thinking more faster than them, you look more controlled, you're going to have an advantage. While everybody's out there freestyling, trying to score 30, 40 every time, you're going to be dishing, boom, boom, bang, bang. Look at that. Oh, who's that? I want that person. I don't have a lot of that out there. I got a lot of jacking and scoring and stuff like that. I don't got a lot of breaking down. I don't got a lot of attacking advantages. There's not a lot of people avoiding taking bad shots, taking great shots. There's not a lot of players limiting the turnovers. There's not a lot of players that got next play speed, right? D1 point guards think faster than high school point guards. So if you want to be D1, you got to be better than the people that surround you. You can't just be happy that you playing on the team or you're playing against this person, and that don't matter. You got to make a name for yourself. You got to stand out. You can't fit in. You got to stand out, right? D1 point guards, they know the time, the score, the situation, know when to attack, know when not to attack, know when to pull it out, know every advantage, all right? Great point guards don't make the flashiest plays. They make the right plays, make the smart, sound decision, make smart, sound investments, right? You don't have to risk it all the time. You're investing in your future. That's your currency, right? Then playmaking. You want to be able to create for others. Your job is to generate offense for 5, not just yourself. Elite playmakers collapse defenses and create opportunities, right? If you could count to 5, you could be a great point guard. There's only 5 players on the court at all times. 5 players going against 5 players. You want to be able to create 2 people on you and get somebody open, right? In essence, however that goes about. It's always creating an advantage, right? Angles, just all different types of things. Like I said, we're not getting into that. We're just giving you the skill sets that you got to have. If you want to learn more, you got to tap in. Tap in on that QR code. If you want to speak to me, Coach Kevin, I get you all set up, right? Give you a roadmap to follow. Stay with you through the roadmap. Get you through the program, right? I can't do the work for you, though. But the first step is tapping in on that QR code on that link, right? We got an academy here in Raleigh, North Carolina, for Greatness Academy, the #1 basketball academy in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? And you got to click on that QR code if you want to come in person and get the full shebang. All right. So you want to be able to beat your defender off the dribble every time. Quick. First step all day. You want to be able to collapse the defense and penetrate to create those opportunities, right? Then you want to be able to deliver on time and on target passes. Man, I see so many people ain't delivering on time. They don't want to pass the ball. They're not even looking to pass the ball. So they definitely ain't on time, right? And then because they don't want to pass the ball and they don't practice passing the ball, it ain't on target. And so many scoring opportunities is missed. Everybody could score. It's just how you're going to score, right? And so run, pick and roll with high IQ. I mean, if you want to be a pro, that's what the whole pro game is about, right? Set up shooters and bigs for easy buckets. If your bigs is down there getting boards, blocking shots, playing hard defense, taking out the trash, being a garbage man, right? Feed them. You can't have them working all day and they don't feed. You don't feed them. You have to feed your workers. They're working for you. You're the mastermind. You're the point guard. You're the manager. You're the one telling people what to do. Bang, bang, bang. So you start feeding people, they're going to do more. They're going to come to work. They're going to be hungry. Instead of you just taking all the shots while they're doing all the work, you trying to get all the shine. You say, nah, it's not going to work that way. They're not going to want to play with you. You're not going to be a winner. So you want to be a playmaker. You want to be able to create for others. If the defense never has to rotate, you're not a D1 point guard yet. Not yet. Can be. Come work with us. We'll get you there. Right? Scoring pressure. I know everybody wants that. Right? But it's not what you think it is. So stay tuned. You must be a threat. A threat. Triple threat. Score, pass, shoot. Right? That's triple threat. That's the first fundamental you're supposed to learn. Catch that ball, get in triple threat. From there, I could break you down any type of way. Right? That's very important. That's being lost a lot. So that's very important. So high-level point guards don't always hunt points. Doesn't mean they don't score. They just don't have to hunt them all day long. But they must force defenses to respect them. I'm going to make you pay. Now, if you make a mistake, I'm going to make you pay. Right? You want to be a Floyd. Be a Floyd. Be tactical. Right? Everybody's not going to be a Tyson. Don't come out there and knock everybody out and wow them off with athleticism and physicality. You got to use your mental. Right? That's what's going to separate you. Size, strength, and mental capacity. Right? There's a lot of people with a lot of high-level skill, but they don't know how to utilize their skill to maximize their potential because they're not tapping in to the mental aspect, because the game is 90% mental and 10% skill set. 90% mindset. I could take a player that got a little bit of skill set, right, and make them better than someone that got a lot of skill set if they develop the mindset. And there's many studies out there, case studies, and I'm not going to say no one's name, but you do your YouTube researches and you see about people, what they call busts, people that didn't make it, people that had the potential, had all the talent in the world, but for some reason, it didn't pan out. They didn't make it. You don't want to be one of those people. Because I could guarantee you that there's more people like that than the people that's successful. So that's why when we have a success story, I'm realizing more is very important. Because a lot of people think they know the answers, but a lot of people is not being successful. Many people set out on a journey, but many people don't follow all the way through the finish line. And in order for you to get the prize, you got to finish the finish line. You don't get credit for starting. You get credit for finishing. And not only just finishing in a top tier rank, right? So, but you don't have to hunt points, but you must force the defense to respect you. If they don't guard you, you can't run a college offense, because then you're not going to be on offense. You're going to be on defense, because the defense is going to press up on you and put pressure on you. This is why this is called scoring pressure. When I come down, I'm hitting threes on you. I'm getting by you. I'm creating advantages, dishing to my team, hitting the runners, hitting the big man, hitting the shooters, scoring on you and floating the ball, hitting mid-range. You don't know what to do. I'm such a threat, right? So you got to respect that, and then they're gonna respect you. Then you're gonna be able to run a college offense. If you can't do that in high school, you just know how you're gonna be D1, right? So you got to get that experience. You got to stay put. So some characteristics that you got to exhibit: reliable pull-up. You got to master the pull-up, right? Mid-range game that freezes the defenders, right? They don't know how far to come up on you because you're hitting the boom. You're getting bottom. You're fast. You're getting bottom. Get by, boop. You pull up for the mid-range. Little midi. All right. Paint touches. Get downhill and put pressure on the rim. Hit him with the floater. If you ain't dunking, hit him with the floater. Dish it to the big man. Right. Finishing craft. Have a layup package with both hands and angles. And touch. Touch is more important than dunking. You're probably not going to dunk the ball a lot in the game unless you got super crazy bounce. Right? If you don't got super crazy bounce, you come in there jumping and overdos, you got to work on touch, angles, finesse, skill. I can see how long you've been in the gym just by your touch. If you don't got touch, you ain't been practicing your shots. You ain't mastered this thing. You're not in the gym, right? And then consistent three. You got to hit the three consistently. Doesn't mean you got to take a lot, but you got to hit it consistently and make them pay, right? So do spot-up shooting that demands closeouts. You need the defense to come out so you could go by, so you could create advantages, so that you could open up the offense and dissect the defense, right? Then you need counter packages, floaters, step backs, hesitation, crossover. That's all once you got a game mastered. All that stepping back. If you can't hit the midi, why are you stepping back? You didn't even master the midi. So why are you stepping back? I'm not going to respect. So you step back and you did me a favor. Now, if you hit the midi, then I step back as a counter. That's a little different. But that foundation got to be built. Consistent midi. At least 7 to 10, 7 to 8 out of 10 every time before you even worrying about all that. All right. Defensive leadership. This is the intangible parts. This is what separates you. You can have lack a lot of all that other skill, but if you got this defensive leadership, right, you could go far with a little bit less skill than someone else, right? So this is very important. This is like what you could be. Typically, you always gonna find someone that got more skill, but you could always be a great leader, right? That's what I'm doing, and I'm practicing every day to try to be a better leader. That's what I learned about basketball. It's about leadership. It's about how far you could go and help others go. It's not just about you, right? If you're still worried about only you, you're not going that far. You're not conglomerate. You know what I mean? We think conglomerate. We think big, right? We think godly. We not normal. We different. We built different, right? This is for greatness. For greatness is for God. So we try to take things higher. All right. So defensive leadership. This is what's going to separate you. D1 coaches love point guards who defend with fire. With fire. You out there locking up, strapping up, clapping, 94 feet, getting the other team mad, getting the other. They love that. They go, that's going to stand out more than someone scoring all day, right? You rallying your team up, you getting assists. You changing the energy, huh? You changing that. It's your spirit. It's that fire, that love, that passion, that desire. That's that blood, sweat, and tears, right? Your defense proves your heart. How bad you really want it. I'm not letting you score on me. You're not scoring. It's not going to be easy. Even if you get yours, it's not going to be easy. That shows heart. That shows grit. That shows your teammates like, this is what we got to do. That's leadership. I'm getting down. I'm locking up. I'm rebounding. So I'm commanding everybody to do. I'm demanding that. I'm demanding that. And then you bring it to practice every day. You the first one in running. You in there every rebound. You strapping up. You tell me, I need that. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. You demanding it now. Because you walking the walk. You're not just talking the talk. Talking the talk is good, but if you're not walking the walk, you need to shut up and start learning how to walk before you talk all day. But that's the leadership, right? Your defense proves your heart and your commitment to winning. That's what it's about. It's winning that game. Whether you got 10 assists, no assists, 10 points, no points, 10 rebounds, no rebounds, 10 steals, no minutes. Was you on the bench clapping, firing people up? It starts in practice. Are you coming to practice every single day with that energy, giving it 110%? If you only got 80, giving it 80. Blood, sweat, and tears. That's what leadership is about, right? But a leader sets the tone on the ball. They pressure from the opening tip. I'm on you. They disrupt the opposing point guards. Oh, you think you top ranked 5-star, 4-star? It's not going down like that tonight. You're going to have a long night. You're going to know who I am before the end of the day. I guarantee you that. I'm coming for everybody, right? They make their job harder every possession. They communicate every action. They talk, they communicate. Screen high, screen low. Come here, run the floor. Get there, you see that? Listen, slow it down. No, don't take that. They're a coach on the court, right? They fight over screen. Don't sit there and get, that's not my man. That's not my man. That is your man. This whole team is this is our stuff. Take pride in that. Don't nobody score on us. So you fight over the screen. You might even got to push your teammate over the screen if he got to. You want to stand around? Get over there. I told you. Right? And they fight through contact without fouling. None of that fouling, chucking. I'm not saying go out there chucking people and just that's the undisciplined. I'm talking about being physical and aggressive. That's why you have to work out so you can impose yourself on someone. And they the first back and they sprint back. They don't put their head down, start jogging. No, you sprint back immediately. Immediately. You ever seen LeBron? The first 3 steps, he might dunk the ball. By the time he touches the floor, he's already sprinting up that court back on defense. That's greatness, right? And you protect the rim and you prevent easy baskets. Stop the ball outside of the paint. 3-on-2, 2-on-1, fundamentals. And then you got to be a vocal leader and a game manager, right? You got to talk like a D1 point guard. A D1 point guard, right, talks first and foremost. If you're not talking, you're not a D1 point guard, right? A quiet point guard is a liability. Leaders don't wait for permission. They step up because you're a leader, right? They direct traffic on every possession. They call switches and defense adjustments. They motivate teammates during adversity. They communicate clearly in huddles. They hold people accountable with respect. They bring energy when the team is flat, right? They control the game. This is vocal. That's the vocal side. This is the game management side, right? Elite point guards know how to manage momentum in situations that high school players miss, right? This right here stops runs before they spiral, right? They start run with energy. They speed up or slow down pace deliberately. They get the ball to the hot hand. They close out fourth quarters with poise. And they control their emotions under pressure. This is basketball IQ. All this encompasses basketball IQ, right? This is how we're going to examine your basketball IQ. You understand what I'm saying? Plus poise, plus experience blended together. That's something that you really can't teach. That stuff that has to be earned. And that's what development is about. That's what development is about, right? And so game management is the hidden skill coaches love. Can you manage my company for me? Right? If I put that means you're a franchise player. I'm going to put it all on you and how well you're going to manage that. Right? Are you going to tell the janitor that it's not cleaning up when he's supposed to be cleaning up better? Are you going to, show up every day or just different things? I'm not going to get to everything right now. All right. The intangibles. What North Carolina D1 coaches really recruit. In North Carolina, where basketball culture run deep, it's a lot. It's 36 D1 colleges in North Carolina, right? College coaches evaluate these traits heavily. Talent gets you seen, but character gets you recruited. Consistency gets you trusted. I said talent gets you seen, character gets you recruited, and consistency gets you trusted, right? So here's some of the things that the North Carolina D1 coaches really recruit, some intangibles. Number one is toughness. That's mental and physical grit in every moment. Number two is work ethic, the kind everyone notices and respect. Number three is body language. Confidence without arrogance is a must, right? Coachability, accept feedback and apply it immediately. Poise under pressure, stay composed when the game gets tight. And competitive spirit, refuse to lose, refuse to quit. These are some intangibles. So that means even with all the skill that you have, you still must have the intangibles. But if you don't have all the skill yet, you must have every single one of these intangibles. Off court responsibility. It's not just about on court, it's about off court, right? Everybody just worry about on court, but it's not all on court. Because the on court part is really easy if you a real baller and you're doing it every day, right? Ball is ball. It's the same things over and over, right? But if you're trying to get to that next level, you're trying to get to that D1 level, that's what this is about, right? You have off-court responsibilities. These are the things that I didn't know as well. But I don't want you to go through it. I went through it. We went through it. So you don't have to go through it. I'm going to say that again. We went through it. And we went through it again and again and again and again and again with maybe 300 to 500 athletes just on the college side, right? So we know what it takes to do that, right? The off-court stuff. So we paid the price so that you don't have to pay the price, right? So your investment is never enough. You can never repay, right? For the mistakes that we made that you don't have to make if you just become coachable, right? A D1, and you reach your goals and your dreams. A D1 point guard isn't built in the gym alone. Your habits, your routines and habits will decide your scholarship before your handles do. All that, right? But if you don't got handling your off-court responsibilities, you're just going to be a dude walking around the streets with a good handle, and it's not bad, but you're not going to optimize. You're not going to maximize your potential, your value, your opportunities in life, your monetary. It's a lot of things that come along with that, right? So you're off court. You got to study film weekly. Even if your coach not studying, you study, right? Even if you're just watching the basketball game, watch college games and watch what makes some of the. Don't just watch highlights. Don't watch highlights only. Highlights is I like watching highlights, but be a student of the game. Have time for highlights and have time for study, right? First and foremost, study your own game. That's the number one person that you should study. And then you could start studying others. That's great already, right? And watch a lot of basketball to understand how they move, how to just put yourself in that game, immerse yourself in this game, right? Watch yourself opponents in college games. Keep grades high. Academic eligibility is a non-negotiable, right? If you don't have D1 grades, you can't go D1. You could be the best player in the world, but there's standards. There's criterias, right? So you're just going to limit yourself, right? I mean, you still could get there and you still could be, have a great career and you still could get pro, NBA, all that. But it's just something that is going to prohibit you. If you got great grades, you ain't gonna have no hindrances, right? So you just want to do your job. Your job is to get good grades. So do it, right? Build strong relationships. Build trust with coaches and teammates matter. You can't burn up you can't burn up all your coaches. You're not gonna have no one to vouch for you, right? It's just like a job. They're gonna do their due diligence. So you got to have coaches that understand how to talk with these coaches to build up your credibility and not tear you down, to build you up and not tear you down and help you prepare so that you do have an opportunity, that you can maintain that opportunity, and that when you do get that opportunity, you can knock that opportunity out the park. You could be prepared, right? That comes with trust and from your teammates. People are going to ask around, right? If you build bad relationships, bad attitudes, you're going to have a bad reputation, right? And that's going to hinder you, right? Take care of your body, sleep, nutrition, mobility, and recovery, right? You should be doing strength training 2 to 3 days out the week and doing mobility at least 2 days out the week, right? And you could do active recovery. But you should be like doing basketball every day, right? Avoid distractions. Stay away from what ruins opportunities, people, places, and things. All right. We can't get into all that, but people, stay away from the wrong people, the wrong places, and the wrong things. That's not in alignment to what you stay around people trying to go D1 basketball. The standard: a true Division I point guard is a leader, a communicator, a creator, a defender, and a problem solver. Someone a coach can trust with the ball, the team, and the moment. If you want to play D1 basketball in North Carolina, Duke, UNC, NC State, Wake Forest, ECU, UNCG, Campbell, Charlotte, and much more, you must master this checklist, right? This is the expectation. This is the bar. This is the blueprint, right? This is the blueprint. So this is the standard, right? Once again, I'm Coach Kevin Gibbs with For Greatness Academy, the #1 basketball academy in Raleigh, North Carolina. And hopefully that you enjoyed this. This is the standard, right? If you want to become a D1 point guard and you in the North Carolina area, then reach out. You could text the number 984-409-9021, right? We start early. You don't got to wait till you in high school. By that time, it's probably too late. We need to get you in elementary. We want to start you off in elementary, right? But if you've been balling, we could, wherever you at, we could grab you, right? But hit that QR code, right? We're looking for players from 4th grade all the way up that want to be D1, go to college, no matter where you're starting at. All right. So like, share, and subscribe with someone if you found this enlightening and educational in any way, shape, form, or fashion.